Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. Drop your names in the chat, guys. Drop your name in the chat, everybody. Let's go. Everyone, drop your name in the chat. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. All right, here you go. Guys, write your name next to your name, write your country name as well. Okay, I want to know where you are all watching from. Okay. All right, then we have is Payton. Here you go, Payton. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then we've got is Paula in the chat. Thank you so much, Paula, for subscribing. Paula, thank you so much. Then we've got is Lyric in the chat. Here you go, Lyric. Thank you so much for subscribing. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is Emerlyn. Here you go, Emerlyn. Thank you so much for subscribing, Emerlyn. Here you are. My next subscriber in the chat is Bella. Thank you so much, Bella. And Bella is from the United States. All right. Okay. Then we've got is my next subscriber in the chat is Jenny. Here you go, Jenny. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. Then my next subscriber is Cabir. Here you go, Cabir. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Melanie. Thank you so much, Melanie, for subscribing. Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is Jab. Thank you so much, Jab, for subscribing. All right, Jab, thank you so much. My next subscriber in the chat is Presley. All right, Presley, here you go. Thank you, Presley, so much for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Aurora. Here you go, Aurora. Thank you so much for subscribing, Aurora. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Kennedy. Here you go. Thank you so much, Kennedy, for subscribing. All right. My next subscriber is Ivan in the chat. Thank you so much, Ivan, for subscribing to me. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Lucy. Welcome in, Lucy. Where are you watching from? Tell me in the chat where you're watching from. Then we got is Belen in the chat. All right. Thank you so much, Belen, for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Aryan. Here you go, Aryan. Thank you so much for subscribing, Aryan. My next subscriber in the chat is Aurel. Here you go, Aurel. Thank you so much for subscribing, Aurel. Then we got Cora in the chat. Thank you, Cora, for subscribing. Then my next subscriber is all right, it is Haley. Guys, where are you watching from? Tell me your country name. Write your country name next to your name. Then we've got Haley in the chat. Okay, Haley. All right, then we've got is Alina in the chat. Here you go, Alina. Your name is done. Then my next subscriber is Daisy. Daisy, thank you so much for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Harris. Thank you so much, Harris, for subscribing. Here you go, Harris. My next subscriber in the chat is Azaleas. Thank you so much, Azaleas, for subscribing to me. Thank you, Azaleas. And my next subscriber in the chat is Grayson. Here you go, Grayson. Thank you so much for subscribing to me, Grayson. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Jane. Here you go, Jane. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then we've got is all right, then my next subscriber is Ireland. Here you go, Ireland. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ireland. My next subscriber in the chat is Chloe. Here you go, Chloe. Thank you so much, Chloe. Then my next subscriber in the chat is It is Yazid. Here you go, Yazid. Thank you so much for subscribing, Yazid. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Sad. Thank you so much, Sad, for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Marion. Thank you so much, Marion, for subscribing to me. My next subscriber in the chat is Kenzie. Welcome in, Kenzie. Where are you watching from? How are you? Where are you watching from, Kenzie? Tell me. Then we've got we got Diane in the chat. Thank you so much, Diane, for watching my live and subscribing. Everybody share my live with your friends as well. Okay, after sharing my live, say done. And then write your country name next to your name. Then we got Holly in the chat. Thank you so much, Holly, for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Lawrence. Here you go, Lawrence. Thank you so much for subscribing, Lawrence. Here you go, Lawrence. Here you are. Thank you, Lawrence. My next subscriber in the chat is Xander. Here you go, Xander. Thank you so much, Xander, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Mackenzie. Here you go, Mackenzie. Thank you so much for subscribing. Mackenzie, thank you. Here you go, Mackenzie. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is Ellie. Here you go, Ellie. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ellie. My next subscriber in the chat is Olivia. Here you go, Olivia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Olivia. My next subscriber in the chat is Jolande. Here you go, Jolande. Thank you so much for subscribing, Jolande. My next subscriber is Jane in the chat. Thank you so much, Jane, for subscribing. Then that is Laura. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then after Laura, we have Theo in the chat who has subscribed to me. All right. Thank you so much, Theo. Then we've got Sad in the chat. All right. Thank you so much, Sad, for subscribing. All right. Then we've got Mandeep. Thank you so much, Mandeep. Where are you watching from, Mandeep? Thank you so much for subscribing, Mandeep. Then we've got thank you, Dia. Everybody give it up for Dia. Thank you so much for subscribing, Dia. Then my next subscriber is Kopo. Here you go, Kopo. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then my next subscriber is Jonah. Here you go, Jonah. Thank you. Where are you watching from, Jonah? Where are you watching from? Then we got Zhao in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing, Zhao. Where are you watching from? Then we have Joanne, and Joanne is watching from Balin, I think. Yeah, Joanne is watching from Balin. All right, then we got Ella in the chat. Thank you so much, Ella, for subscribing. Then my next subscriber is Marley. There you go, Marley. Thank you so much for subscribing, Marley. Then my next subscriber is Elvis. Here you go, Elvis. Thank you so much for subscribing, Elvis. My next subscriber is, all right. Okay, all right. Here you go, Lisa. All right, Lisa, here you go. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is Nayletty. Here you go, Nayletty. Thank you so much for subscribing, Nayletty. Here you go. All right, Nayletty. My next subscriber in the chat is Cartier. Here you go, Cartier. Here you are. Then my next subscriber in the chat is RJ. Here you go, RJ. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber, it is Jasmine. All right, welcome back, Jasmine. All right, filling up the page again, huh? Then my next subscriber in the chat is John. All right, here you go, John. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, all right, Matteo. Here you go. All right, then my next subscriber, it is, how do you pronounce this? All right, then my next subscriber in the chat is Charity. Here you go, Charity. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Shawnee. There you go, Shawnee. Thank you so much, Shawnee, for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Ella. Here you go, Ella. My next subscriber in the chat is Mirage. You're welcome, Mirage. Here you go. Where are you watching from, Mirage? Tell me in the chat. Where are you watching from? Then we got Jake in the chat. Thank you so much, Jake, for subscribing. My next subscriber is Netin. Where are you from, Netin? Where are you watching from? What we've got is, okay, Foot Core is watching from Bangladesh. Awesome. Then we got is Lance. All right, Lance, thank you so much for subscribing. Then after Lance, my next subscriber is Lita. Here you go, Lita. Hold on, Lita. Here you go, Lita. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber, it is Ander. Here you go, Ander. Thank you so much for subscribing, Ander. And my next subscriber is, everybody drop your names in the chat, guys. Grayson, you are next. Here you go. Thank you so much, Grayson, for subscribing. Then we got is JD in the chat. JD, here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing, JD. Then my next subscriber is Jazaya. Jazaya, here you go. Thank you for subscribing, Jazaya. My next subscriber in the chat is, everybody drop your names in the chat. Mona, here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. After Mona, my next subscriber in the chat is Zach. Here you go, Zach. Thank you so much for subscribing, Zach. Here you are. My next subscriber in the chat is Amadeus. Amadeus, all right, here you go, Amadeus. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is, everybody give it up for Linda. Shout out to Linda, guys. Thank you so much, Linda, for subscribing and liking. Shout out to Linda, guys. Shout out to Linda. All right, then my next subscriber in the chat is, everybody drop your names in the chat. Everyone drop your name in the chat and write next to your name, write your country name as well. All right, then we got is Kwezi in the chat. Kwezi, here you go, Kwezi. Thank you so much for subscribing. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is, it is Kiki. All right, Kiki, thank you so much for subscribing, Kiki. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is, who is my next subscriber in the chat? Is Brandon from UK. Everybody give it up for Brandon. My next subscriber is Yasmin from New Zealand. Yasmin, here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Zion. Here you go. Thank you so much, Zion, for subscribing. Where are you watching from, Zion? Tell me in the chat. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is Jane. After Jane, we've got is Murray in the chat. Here you go, Murray. Thank you so much for subscribing. Here you are. My next subscriber in the chat is Bigo. Thank you so much for subscribing, Bigo. Here you go. Shout out to Bigo, guys. He's subscribed and liked. Thank you so much. I've got is Noah in the chat. Thank you so much, Noah, for subscribing. Here you go, Noah. Let me write that again. Here you go, Noah. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Stacy. Here you go, Stacy. Everybody give it up for Stacy. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking, Stacy. All right, give it up for Stacy, guys. Then we've got is So CC. Here you go, So CC. Thank you so much for subscribing. Here you go, So CC. Thank you. Then my next subscriber in the chat is, all right, Hayden is next. Here you go, Hayden. Thank you so much for subscribing, Hayden. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is, all right, it is, all right, Brody. All right, Brody. Thank you so much for subscribing. Where are you watching from, Brody? My next subscriber in the chat is Sosa. Here you go, Sosa. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is AJ. So much, AJ, for subscribing. Then my next subscriber in the chat is, all right, Lily. All right, Lily, everybody give it up for Lily. Thank you so much for subscribing, Lily. Here you go, Lily. My next subscriber after Lily is Jim. All right, Jim, here you go, Jim. Then my next subscriber in the chat is JJ. Here you go, JJ. Thank you so much for subscribing. Everybody give it up for JJ. Then we got is Janelle. Thank you so much, Janelle, for subscribing. Here you go, Janelle. My next subscriber after Janelle, it is going to be Yasmin. Yasmin, here you go. Yasmin, hold on. Yasmin, here you go. Yasmin, and Yasmin is from New Zealand. All right, my next subscriber is Juliana. Where are you from, Juliana? Tell me in the chat, Juliana. Where are you from? Tell me. And my next subscriber in the chat is Summer. All right, Summer, how are you doing? Thank you so much for subscribing, Summer. Then we've got is Nate in the chat, guys. Nate is in the house. Everybody give it up for Nate. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Mikhail. Here you go, Mikhail. Thank you so much for subscribing. Everybody give it up for Mikhail. My next subscriber in the chat is Carl. Here you go, Carl. Thank you so much for subscribing. Then we got is Mike in the chat, guys. Mike is in the house. Everybody give it up for Mike. My next subscriber in the chat is Okay, Juliana is from Canada. Awesome. Shout out to Canada. Shout out to Juliana. Thank you so much. Then we've got is Laura in the chat. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is, let me check the chat. Who subscribed to me? Then we got is Phil in the chat. Here you go, Phil. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is Eisen. Here you go, Eisen. Thank you so much for subscribing. Here you go. My next subscriber is Ryan. Here you go, Ryan. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is, hold on, guys. It is, everybody, drop your names in the chat. Yes, Juliana, write his name. Then we got his Mike in the chat. Everybody, drop your names in the chat. Everyone, drop your name in the chat. Madison, you are next. Madison, let me write that again, Madison. Madison, here you go, Madison. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Jerry. Here you go, Jerry. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber is, all right, guys, let's just relax a little bit, okay? Let's do this. Andrew, here you go, Andrew. Okay, after Andrew, we've got is Onkar. Thank you so much, Onkar, for subscribing. And my next subscriber in the chat is Robinson. Okay, Juliana, Robinson is your brother's name. Okay, here you go. Robinson, here you go. All right. My next subscriber in the chat is Fateh. Here you go, Fateh. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Phobe. Thank you so much, Phobe, for subscribing to me. Thank you, Phobe. Here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is Catherine. Here you go, Catherine. Thank you so much for subscribing. Here you go, Catherine. My next subscriber in the chat is Autumn. Here you go, Autumn. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Love. Here you go, Love. My next subscriber in the chat is Star. Here you go, Star. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Rashmika. Here you go, Rashmika. Here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing, Rashmika. My next subscriber in the chat is Martin. Here you go, Martin. Thank you so much for subscribing, Martin. Here you are. My next subscriber name in the chat is Jack. Okay, Max, your brother's name is Jack. Here you go. All right, my next subscriber in the chat is Quinn. Here you go, Quinn. Thank you so much for subscribing, Quinn. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is Cecilia. All right, Cecilia, here you are. Thank you so much for subscribing, Cecilia. And my next subscriber name in the chat is Alana. Here you go, Alana. Thank you so much for subscribing, Alana. Thank you. Then my next subscriber is Carter. Here you go, Carter. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber name in the chat is, thank you. Then we got is L in the chat. Here you go. Thank you so much, L. My next subscriber is Sophia in the chat. Thank you so much, Sophia. My next subscriber name in the chat is Clover in the chat. Here you go, Clover. Thank you so much for subscribing, Clover. My next subscriber in the chat is you're welcome, Juliana. Then my next subscriber in the chat is Julius. Julius is Sarah's brother. Here you go, Julius. Where are you watching from, by the way, Sarah? Julius, here you go. My next subscriber in the chat is Ezra. Ezra, here you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. My next subscriber in the chat is Yu Chang. Where are you watching from, Yu Chang? Tell me in the chat. Yu Chang. My next subscriber in the chat is, it is. Everybody drop your names. Yasmin from New Zealand. Here you go, Yasmin. Thank you so much for subscribing. And my next subscriber is, all right. Then my next subscriber in the chat is, what are you writing, AI? All right, my next subscriber is in the chat is everybody drop your names in the chat. Everybody drop your names in the